Hey everyone, welcome back. It is day 9 of your 30-day Pilates journey. Today we are talking about another Pilates concept that is going to serve you in your Pilates practice and also in your overall general life when it comes to movement. And this concept is called the Pilates Box. So what that is the space here, or I guess how do I explain this? The construct of shoulder to shoulder, hip to hip. You have these four points in your body that, when attached by straight lines, make a box or a rectangle. And we use the idea of the box to help us keep an eye on our own alignment as we move through exercise and through life. So if you're ever doing an exercise where your box is meant to be square with the lines straight, you are able to notice maybe if we've bent the lines in any direction or twisted the lines at all where they shouldn't be bent or twisted. So we'll use the Pilates box today to keep an eye on our own alignment and just kind of notice which exercises we want to keep the box square. And of course, there are exercises where we don't have a square box at all on purpose. And that's also something that you can begin to notice as you move through your Pilates practice. So just another layer, it always keeps layering on. So let's go ahead and get started. We are going to warm up today with the 100. So I want you to lie down on your back and pull your knees in towards your chest. From here, you're going to lift head, neck, and shoulders. And I love this curled up position because it's a place where you can see the two frontal hip points, which are the bottom corners of your box. And you can check right away, is one hip higher than the other? Maybe am I twisted with one hip further forward than the other? You can kind of check on that for yourself in this curled up position. And then go ahead and lower your head, neck, and shoulders down, because we don't want to stay up there forever. We'll go ahead and curl up again. Now, to set up for the 100, reach your arms long by your sides. Let's notice if the tips of the shoulders are equally in line with each other in the same plane. And then you can reach your legs out to your working level, working that deep scoop, that zip up of the jacket. And we'll begin to pump for 5 breaths today. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, inhale. And exhale, 3, 4, 5, in with the air and out with the air. Working that lateral breath, 2, 3, 5, exhale, 3, 4, 5, last breath in and out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now let's bring those knees back into the chest, lower head, neck, and shoulders all the way down. Now from here, we're going to take the legs and just stretch them out long onto the mat, and then bring your arms long by your sides. And now we'll just bend the right knee in towards the chest here. And I want you to extend that right leg as far as you can up towards the ceiling. Now we'll take a moment to curl head, neck, and shoulders, taking a peek at our hips. Is your box square on the bottom? Usually when we lift one leg, one hip tends to hike up higher than the other. So if that's the case for you, go ahead and just settle that hip back down, and then make sure both of your back pockets are heavy on the mat. Now let's hug that knee into the chest. From here, we're going to take the hands behind the back of this right thigh and just extend up for 3, and bend in, getting a nice hamstring stretch, 2, and bend in. One more time, extend up and bend in. Now hands free, we'll extend up and hold there. Now I want you to push the backs of your shoulders into the mat, so we're opening up that top line of the box. And then while you're lying here with one leg lifted, you're noticing that your box is completely square. We have straight lines from shoulder to shoulder and then hip to hip. Then you're just going to reach your leg down to about 45 degrees, and then we'll begin to internally rotate the whole leg and externally rotate the whole leg. And as you do this, make sure that it is just that hip moving around in its socket, and you're not doing any type of hip dance from side to side. I like to grab onto my hips here, placing my fingers right into my hip creases in the front to make sure that that is the case. Because sometimes when we get to that end range and our rotation of the hip, our pelvis likes to move without us really noticing. So it's nice to give yourself that tactile feedback. Let's go ahead and externally rotate one more time and then hug your knee into the chest. Now from here, we'll take that leg straight back up towards the ceiling, press your palms down to the floor, externally rotate that leg, and we'll draw a circle with the leg crossing over, around, and up. Now this one is tricky because that box wants to move. So if you feel your hips or shoulders moving at all, you want to press deeply down into the mat and maybe make your circles a little bit smaller, crossing over, around, and up for 3. We'll hold the top and then reverse 3 times. Outside, cross over and lift. Again, tight jacket is on, and that also helps you stabilize your box. One more circle here, outside, inside, and up. Then go ahead and bend that knee in towards the chest and take the leg all the way down to meet the left. Now working on the left side here, we'll repeat all of that. So I'm gonna have you bring the left knee into the chest, extend that leg up towards the ceiling, hands free. Now lift head, neck, and shoulders, check out your box. One side is likely to be tighter than the other, so you might find that one side is compensating and messing up your box more than the other side would. Now go ahead and lower your head, neck, shoulders down, and then go ahead and hug that knee into the chest for a nice little hip stretch. From there, we'll take the hands behind the thigh and extend upward, keeping that box nice and square, and bend in. Again, just giving yourself a nice little hamstring stretch, but keeping it moving, keeping it dynamic. Let's do that one more time. Extend that leg up, bend it in, and then hands free, extend the leg straight up, press your palms to the backs of your shoulders, and that bottom foot into the floor. Now go ahead and reach the leg down to about 45 degrees, and then we'll begin to turn that hip inward and outward in its socket, just like we would turn a key in a keyhole. And now if it helps you to look forward at your hips and see what's moving and what's not moving, that's also an option. You can also place those hands on your hips to make sure that your hips are not dancing and that box is staying stable. Good, let's go ahead and internally rotate one more time. Externally rotate all the way. Keep that external rotation. Hug the knee into the chest. And we'll take the leg straight up now in external rotation. Heel points in, toes point out, palms pressed to the floor. 3 circles each direction. Let's make it slow to make sure that box stays square and stable. We're keeping that box tight and unmoving. 2 more, cross over and lift. 1 more time, over and lift up. And then go ahead and reverse 3 times, out, cross over and up. Now, if you feel your box moving like crazy, make those circles smaller, slow it down. No shame in slowing it down and making your range of motion smaller. 1 more time here. Leg lifts to the sky, and then go ahead and hug that knee into your chest. Now let's bend both knees. We're gonna step the feet onto the floor. I want you to walk your big toes, knees, and ankles together so you can feel your midline. And then we're going to do an exercise called Pistons. So what you're going to do is bring your right knee into your chest. And as you do that, this lower leg is kind of like dead weight on top of the thigh. And then you're gonna set it all the way down. Press the right foot into the floor in order to lift the left leg off. So you're kind of like working like pistons in a car. You must press down in order to lift the opposite leg. And now while you're here, I want you to gasp, let go of the abs, and stop pressing your arms so firmly into the mat. So let's go light arms, light abdominals. And now I want you to work that bottom leg pressing as your stabilizer for your box. So you can feel as you press one foot down and the other foot lifts, how the bottom foot pressing keeps your box from rocking from side to side and works as your stabilizer. Isn't that cool? And then go ahead and take both feet down to the mat. From here, press lightly into the arms and go ahead and lift your hips up into a shoulder bridge. Now from here, we're using the arms to help us stabilize the box, but you still have that shoulder, shoulder, hip to hip action going. You can look down the line of your front body to see if that is still true. And then we'll piston the legs in and in. We've done this before with our lower body work, but we're just bringing it into this idea of keeping that box stable and square. So the only thing that's moving is the leg that is lifting. Woo! Now let's piston the right knee up and hold it there. Extend the right leg out, and then keeping the box square, look down the line of that front body with your eyeballs. We'll take the leg, lower it down, tap the mat, lift it up. Whoa, that's hard. 2 more. Lower and lift. 1 more time. Lower and lift. Then replace that foot down. Now piston the right leg, bring the left knee in, and then extend that left leg straight up, and we'll lower down, tap the mat, keeping those hips square. 2 more, keeping it slow, and up. 1 more time, lower down, and lift. Replace the foot down here, and then melt all the way down. Into the mat. Go ahead and hug the knees in. If you want to make anything harder in Pilates, just do it slower. From here, let's rock and roll all the way up to sit. We're going to mess up our box a little bit. So I'm going to have you come into a tall seated position, legs long out in front of you. Squeeze your inner thighs. We'll take the arms and interlace the fingers, bringing them right in front of your sternum. And then go ahead and twist from your upper back here into your deepest twisted space. Good. Now from here, I want you to check in on your big toes. Are they in line? So with the spine twist exercise, the bottom half of our box, hip to hip, are still square. They're not moving, but that upper half is twisting around and no longer in line with the hips. Let's bring it center. Let's go ahead and do it again. Twisting to the left, over, over, over. Just trying to wring that rib cage out like a washcloth. When you get to your deepest, tallest twist, look back at your big toes. Make sure those feet are in line. You haven't moved your hips at all. And then back to the center. And again to the right. Let's twist it out for 5. Go deeper. 4, 3, 2, 1. Look back at those big toes. Take a peek. Make sure you're good. And back to center. And then twist left for your last time. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take a peek back at those big toes and then come back to center. And that is it for your day 9 of your 30-day Pilates journey. I will see you tomorrow for day 10.